All right, salute. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for being here. Throwing me some love. Welcome to the channel. And today I want to put out a long overdue video talking about level 5. And this is subjective, talking about level 5 living in Thailand. I did, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, but it's been a long time. Level 5 is a difficult phase, very hard to talk about, but I feel that I'm at a place where I can talk about this now, and this is still not easy to talk about. So today I want to talk about level 5, living in Thailand. And if you're not familiar with my other videos, don't watch this one first. Go back and watch level 1, level 2, level 3, and 4 before you come to this. Because as I said, it takes some time to get here. And I'm not saying I'm some guru or some expert. This is very subjective. This is my own experience, but I'm going to tell you, this has been a hard phase, probably the hardest phase. I'm invested in living here. I've got a business. I'm in a 1-year contract or in a lease. I'm getting married in a month. So a lot of things have changed, but it's what it is. So it does begin to get scary because it requires more of you. And you have more to lose when it comes to this. And especially, it really becomes difficult when you don't know, when you don't feel comfortable with making these types of arrangements and stuff. So anyway, with that being said, I want to talk about level 5, living in Thailand. The number one, this is the hard, I'm doing 5 things. I'm talking about 5 things today. Number 1 is the realization of loneliness and isolation. Now, what do I mean by this? Is when you first come here, you're going to be greeted by all these smiles and all this stuff because you're a tourist. You've got money and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to bash. This is no disrespect. It's what it is. Like, you're going to have a great time. You're going to have fun. But everything is geared towards making you feel comfortable, rolling out the red carpet. But listen, they're sitting there with their hands open, wanting to tip. I'm not saying you tip people here, but the longer you live here, the more you realize that it is superficial. A lot of it, not all of it, but very few people are truly in your corner. You are going to get to a place to where you question, say you come here long term. I've been here a year and a half, going on, not going on 2 years, but a year and a half. I've come to this place twice already to where I've considered leaving. Honestly, I love it here. I don't want to leave, but I don't want to feel you feel that alienation. You feel that I don't belong. I don't understand. You feel that. You understand it there's a lot of people that are going to treat you wonderful, especially if you see them every day. So you really got to work hard on building your relationships and your friendships and stuff like that. But still, you're going to feel that loneliness and that isolation, that not belonging. Number one, because of your lack, of Thai. The language barrier is very difficult, but there's different elements of this even within Thailand. People speak with different accents and they judge each other as well. So this is kind of what I'm saying. So it's very difficult to really try, to really blend in and to really feel comfortable. Even where I live, I feel safe, I feel comfortable. I can go talk to my neighbors, but I can't really talk to my neighbors. I can't go talk to my neighbors, hey, I'm having a bad day. There's just a big barrier between us and them. So with that being said, does it make it uncomfortable? Sometimes. Most of the time, it's not a problem. Most of the time, it doesn't bother me. Most of the time, I seriously, I don't even think about it. Honestly, I don't feel anything out of the ordinary when I go to the supermarket, when I go buy gas, when I go to our shop, when I go get my motorcycle fixed. I've been here long enough. I've got a few friends and, people I can talk to. It takes a long time. It is so freaking hard to build the network you need to really feel secure here, because there are going to be occasions and moments where you really don't feel secure here, whether it's your immigration status, whether it's what's happening with the government, whether it could be like certain friendships or relationships falling apart. A lot of people go through this stuff, so it's very difficult. Number two, the waning of the nostalgia. The waning of the nostalgia of being here. With that said, I'm still in touch with people, back in the States and whatnot, my family and friends and stuff. But the nostalgia of living here wears off. It wears off. And this is a good thing, and it's a hard thing. At the same time, it's a double-edged sword. For example, when that nostalgia wears off, you start to spend less money. You don't go out as much, but it's still hard because you're kind of giving up that wow, that pizzazz of what really drew you in the first place. And I'm not saying it drew you here. Hopefully it didn't. But honestly, you can't live this party lifestyle where you go out every day, where you go out and get drunk every day, where you go out and eat every day, 3 meals a day, all that stuff. Like, listen, there's people that go to the markets and stuff. And listen, we do those things. We still go out and make time for that. But the nostalgia of living here, that pizzazz, oh, I've never seen this before. I'm not used to this. That wears off. And it can be very depressing for a lot of people. And a lot of people can't let that go. And this kind of ties into my first point, is that realization of loneliness or isolation. They don't want to let that nostalgia go, and they want to hang on to it. And they're going to spend more and more and more money and continue to hang out in the areas, that are not good for them in the long run. And basically, they're not going to learn anything. They're not going to integrate, and it's going to be detrimental to their adaptation or their, acclimation into the society here, if that's what they truly desire. So this is a truly hard thing. And I'm talking level 5. This is like hard things to talk about. But that nostalgia wears off. Like, it's just not as exciting to do these things anymore. I've seen it. Listen, I'm excited for everyone that comes here. I love it. Like, I'm excited for the other people that experience this. Like, I can see the smile on people's face, when they first come here. I can see it I've been here long enough to see when a person's like, this is their first time in Thailand. I can see it from a mile away, and so can everyone else. It's like, wow. And I'm actually a little envious of it. Not in a bad way, but still. This nostalgia wears off, and a lot of people can't get past this phase. And this is why level 5 is extremely difficult, because you are literally sent back to the drawing board. Like, what the hell am I going to do? I'm here, I've got a budget, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or, what type of life? Like, you literally will go back to the drawing board in this stage when it comes to who you are, what you're going to do, your habits, your routines, your friends, your acquaintances, who you hang out with, who you date, things like this, your relationship styles. All of these things are going to absolutely come into question. You will literally sit here and probably not sleep for a period of time. And a lot of people that have lived here for a long time know exactly what I'm talking about. When that nostalgia wears off, that isolation or that loneliness hits you, it's not easy. A lot of people consider leaving. A lot of people consider, they don't want to think about it. They want to procrastinate. They just continue to go to the same places, which they shouldn't do. But a lot of people will get stuck in those places. And I would argue this is where people take one of two directions. A lot of expats that live here long term. But with that said, I'm going to get to number 3. Number 3 is the difficulty of owning anything here in Thailand or working. First of all, we're not allowed to work. As an expat, we are not allowed to work legally. You will be arrested. It is no joke here. Owning a bar, you can own 49%. Owning a business, you can own 49%. Like I can own 49% type person. You can break that 51% up into, multiple people or LLCs. I'm not going to get in the weeds and like with that stuff. You need to talk to an attorney. But still, you will never own land legally. You can build a house and you can own a house, but you don't own the land, which means you don't own the damn house. And a lot of people fall for this bull crap. Flames go over here. Oh, I met this chick in Pattaya, I fell in love and all this stuff. And they build a house and, Buriram or something like that. And she kicks him out and she moves in her, her geek, and whatnot and kicks him out. And he's like, well, this is my house. No, it's actually not. It is your house, but it's her land. And the courts are going to back this up. So, guys, you need to understand ownership. And like as a man, if you're going to live here and you're going to maneuver responsibly, you're going to make financial decisions, you need to do your research and your homework on how this all works. When it comes to owning a business, when it comes to partners, when it comes to how to delegate these things, when it comes to like protections, prenup agreements, things like this, whether or not to register a marriage if you decide to get married. This is a lot of things I don't want to get in the weeds with, but I'm telling you, the legal framework is stacked against you, bro. But there are ways to do this. Honestly, like, you're not allowed to just go and buy and open any business. Like truth be told, you're going to come here and you're going to learn from the ground up. You're going to bump your head. You're going to, go into partnerships with people that are going to burn you. Maybe you're going to go into partnerships with people that are going to skim off the top. You're also going to get skimmed by, I don't want to say too much, by the people that give you permission to do what you do. It's a hard reality, but you need to learn this from the ground up. But when you start to understand this, it will help you to maneuver yourself and behave in a different way, change your habits and whatnot, accept the reality of what it is. Now, this all sounds very overwhelming. It is, but it's not impossible. I've been sucking this stuff up for a while. And honestly, it's taken me so long to make this video. Number 4, I want to go ahead and move on. Number 4 is that money is freaking expensive. Like, okay, right now we're getting about 32.5 baht per dollar. Like the Thai baht, 32.5 baht per dollar, which is, things are cheaper here, but some things are not cheaper. But moving money is not cheap. Like every time you go to the ATM and you withdraw money, even from your U.S. bank account, they're going to hit you a 220 baht fee, which is about almost $8 just for an ATM fee. And then they're going to give you a dog crap exchange rate like 30.2. You know what I'm saying? Or 30.1, because the baht has actually risen against the dollar tremendously in the last 3 months. It's crazy. Like when I first got here, it was 38 baht per dollar. Now it's 32-ish. So 6 baht per dollar doesn't sound like a lot, but if you go out, you go take $500 out the bank, that's $60, $70. Plus the 220 baht, the $7 fee. This adds up. Which brings me to my next point is like opening a damn bank account here is very, very difficult. It is very difficult how to move money. Now, money can go out easily. Like you can go to the ATM, you can take money out. You can go to anywhere and get money out. But putting money in, now we got an issue. But getting a bank account is very hard, It takes people. It takes people that know people and stuff like that. Like, honestly, you have to, like, people will make videos and say, oh, you do this to go get a bank account, take your passport, go to this bank. It doesn't work that way. It does, but it doesn't. Truthfully, it's like up to each local branch, even if it's the same bank, like Casa Orange, like Krung Thep or Krung Shrai. SCB Bank, whatever. Any of these banks, it's subjective and it depends on the actual branch of those banks. And it depends on the actual attitude of the woman working there or the man working there. It doesn't matter. But getting a bank account is extremely difficult here. But it is worth it if you can do this, because you can not only put money in, you're saving yourself on all these horrible transaction fees, these exchange rate fees, not to mention you can pay by, QR code, which a lot of people do, like QR. They're starting to, we're moving up. We're a few years behind the US, but people are scanning QR codes and stuff to, pay their tabs and stuff wherever they go. It's becoming more and more common. But this is a big deal because it's not about, like, you got to start thinking, if you live here, I don't want money only going out. I want money coming in to my bank. Now, putting money into your U.S. bank from a Thai citizen, or like taking cash, like, you just don't take cash and go into a bank and say, hey, put this in my U.S. bank account. It don't work that way. It is very, very difficult. You need a Thai bank, and you're going to start to understand what I'm saying. There is a huge firewall between the banking system. Like, money is easy to come out from these other countries, but put money in, that's a whole different thing. So you need to understand this. It's not a massive issue, but it's very difficult, and you can understand the magnitude of all these things I'm listing. And this is just number 4. Now I want to end this video and talk about number 5. This is probably the hardest thing to talk about. Number 5, the disrespect towards your woman. If you have a woman, like a Thai woman, people are going to treat her like crap because of you. People are going to look, not everyone. I'm not trying to throw shade and cast this umbrella and say people are right or wrong. I'm no disrespect. People are going to judge the woman you're with. They're going to judge you and judge her according to how you look and how you behave. Like, the social pressure is crazy, but the social pressure is also on her. So this is why I think a lot of men don't understand when it comes to, dealing with a woman here. Like, if you deal with a woman who's down for you, who actually loves you, who's actually good to you, who doesn't give a shit about who cares, like in public, in society. I'm not talking about she's out there making a fool of herself, like showing her butt, like she's like PDA. I'm not talking about all making out on the corner and stuff. I'm just saying, like, holding your hand, like sitting beside you, just being a normal good. She is putting up with side eyes from all of the people here. She is putting up with side eyes from the people here. So you have to give the credit to her as well when it comes to this. Like, of course, you're going to get the side eyes too, but she is too. Because a woman who's doing this is truly going to be rejected by the majority of society. Whether it's because of envy, I would argue it's mostly because of envy. A lot of people are going to hate her because they're going to say, well, oh, she's a gold digger. Or they're going to assume that she doesn't love you. Or, they're going to try to, like, hit on her in front of you, like other guys will maybe try to come up and hit on your chick in front of you. I'm not going to sit there and fight that battle. I'm going to let her do it. But this is not a very common thing, but you'll start to, like, recognize these things. These are subtle, unspoken, subjective type of signals you're going to see and receive as if you dealt with someone for quite some time. People are going to judge you. This is why it's so imperative. Level 5 is so hard because it's like the biggest stomach grenade you're going to take, where you realize that your lack of Thai language, your Thai culture, and you also realize that you're on your own and that she has chosen you to be on her own as well. Like, this is the crazy reality. And I'm talking about a good job. I'm not talking about these chicks from the streets. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about these chicks on on Tinder or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying that those are bad. I'm just saying these chicks really put themselves out there when they actually are down for you. Seriously. And that same feeling, all of those things I've discussed so far, she feels those same social pressures just like you. I'm serious. So this is level 5 in my opinion. I could really go on and on. I just don't want to say too much. Honestly, living here is hard to explain. It's hard to describe, and it's hard to like talk bad because it's like the hardest reality smack in your face. Like a lot of people think they can come here and just start over. They think they can come here and all my past is forgotten. That's not the case. Wherever you go, there you are. This place will magnify it. And if you're not willing to make the tough decisions and changes, and be a leader and whatnot, and stand up to the stuff, and to suck it up and understand, like maybe you, like, or me, I have to step up my game when it comes to learning what it is here. This is a hard pill to swallow. But if you're not willing to do this, you're going to have a damn difficult time. And honestly, I don't know how you can make it. I don't know how you can make it. Like, honestly, you might get lucky if you're a gazillionaire, but it's not just about money, because you're gonna be surrounded by people like using you for that. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, a lot of these things I'm talking about in this level are ways to weed not only the wrong women out, but it's ways to wrong you out of yourself as well, or to to pressure you to become better if you intend to stay here. With that said, it's not an easy, this is probably the hardest level so far, by far. It's taken me quite some time to put this video up because I don't know how to talk about it, honestly. This is very difficult. The social maneuvering and whatnot, like starting to learn this and starting to learn that, who your friends and enemies are, and to not just that, like to understand, like to have to like wake up and look in the mirror and say, hey, there's a lot I have to do to improve myself. Like, honestly, I'm not doing enough. I could do more. I have to do more. I need to do more, because this is hard and difficult, because I'm not doing as much as I need to do, even though I'm doing as much as I think I have, or think I can, but it's still not enough. So anyway, with that being said, I hope this makes sense. Like level 5, this is a good stage. Like I said, I'm getting married, actually 1 month, 1 month and 2 days from today. So a lot of things have fast forwarded in my life. As of like lately, I'm on my second business now, and things are going pretty well. We had massive floods last month, which really set everyone back, not just me, but everyone. It's been difficult, man. It's been hard. Like you start to question, like, can I do this? Like, especially because when you got to sit there and take an L, for a while, until you don't take an L, till you take a W. But you got to set yourself up to take a big W when you get that W. But you got to be patient enough to wait for it, but not stupid enough to be afraid to cut your losses either. So with that said, I love you guys. I appreciate it. Throw me some love. Let me know what you think, and I'm out of here.